Welcome to the Ursula K. Le Guin Prize for Fiction, our third annual celebration of writing that helps us explore paths to justice, freedom, peace, and a harmonious place in the natural world. This $25,000 cash award is presented to a writer for a book-length work of imaginative fiction. Anyone can nominate a book for this award. This year we received hundreds of nominations, which, after careful consideration by a diverse review group, yielded a shortlist of 10 books. The shortlist, like the prize itself, reflects my mother's lifelong commitment to helping draw attention to talented writers who may not yet be widely recognized for their work. Many of this year's shortlist books deal directly or indirectly with loss, both personal and planetary. In a 2014 appearance, Ursula responded to an audience question about how stories can help carry us through times of grief and great loss.
That's a kind of a question that I would sort of normally dodge directly, because I do it indirectly through trying to do art. And I guess that's really, doing art is the only thing I know anything about, writing, If you can make a story out of it, whatever's happening to you, if you can keep seeing that it is a story and that it does somehow fit into other stories, that it is going somewhere, because that's what a story does. A story moves. The end is not the same as the beginning. All stories are about change. That, I guess, can be helpful. I think I see a lot of young faces here, and this is a tough time to be young. You people do not have it as easy as I did. You really don't. That's a hard thing to have to say when you're old. I'd rather you had it easier than I did, which is how it was when I was young. I had it easier than old people did then. So anyway, let's talk about something cheerful.
The 10 books on our shortlist give us something to be cheerful about, encompassing a broad array of ideas, voices, and formal experimentation. The 2024 shortlist is The Saint of Bright Doors by Vajra Chandrasekhare from Tor.com Publishing. The Skin and Its Girl by Sarah Cipher from Ballantine Books. It Lasts Forever and Then It's Over by Anne DeMarkin from New Directions Publishing. Orbital by Samantha Harvey from Grove Press. Sift by Alyssa Halfman from The Third Thing. The Library of Broken Worlds by Aliyah Dawn Johnson from Scholastic Press. Those Beyond the Wall by Micaiah Johnson from Del Rey Books. The Siege of Burning Grass by Primi Mohammed from Solaris. Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tesh from Tor.com Publishing. Mammoths at the Gates by Nevo from Tor.com Publishing. I can't say it enough. Read these books. You won't regret it. I'm deeply grateful to our 2024 selection panel, Margaret Atwood, Omar Al-Akkad, Megan Geddes, Ken Liu, and Carmen Maria Machado, who gave generously of their time to select this year's prize recipient. And now the moment is here. The 2024 Ursula K. Le Guin Prize for Fiction goes to It Lasts Forever and Then It's Over by Anne DeMarkin. Our selection panel offered these words about the book. It Lasts Forever and Then It's Over is a work of quietly detonative imagination. Written in the guise of a zombie novel, it quickly reveals itself to be a deeply felt meditation on the many afterlives of memory, the strange, disorienting space where our pasts go to disintegrate. As the heroine wanders a shattered world clutching a dead crow that is still muttering away, she becomes an incarnation of grief, its numbness and regrets and heartbreaks. and of the inevitability of our decline. We are what we lose. Haunting, poignant, and surprisingly funny, Anne DeMarkin's book is a tightly written tour de force about what it means to be human.
I'm Anne DeMarkin, author of It Lasts Forever, and Then It's Over. I remember the day that I realized I wanted to be a writer. I was 9 years old. And I say realized because I think by then, even by then, the desire had been alive in me for a long time. Even before I could read or write, I would fill notepads with squiggling, interrupted lines of words. I've heard stories from other writers who are friends who did this too. But it wasn't until I was in the third grade, right at elementary, in Mrs. Broglier's class, when she had us write poems, that my fascination with the shape of language transformed, sort of ballooned into an understanding that language shapes reality, that I could organize words in a particular way to bring things into being and change the order and bring something entirely different into being. It was about a year later that I had my first encounter with Ursula K. Le Guin. I read the Earthsea books. And it was the first time, I think, that I read a book in which I recognized my own experience of life, complicated and shadowy and potent feeling, like filled with imminent magic. I think it's important that it was in a work of fantasy that I had this experience of recognition. I think it's at least part of what Le Guin is talking about when she talks about the importance of realists of other realities. I remember very few specifics about those books, aside from the name of Jed's boat, the Lookfar. But I remember that feeling of recognition, that feeling of vast, intimate possibility perfectly clearly. I took it with me into life, and I feel it still today. And it's how I write toward a feeling. I think Ursula K. Le Guin taught me this. So my first thanks goes to her. Thank you to Ursula K. Le Guin for helping me to become the writer that I wanted to be. And thank you for this prize. Thank you, always and most, to M. I believe that this work requires wholeheartedness, and you make my heart whole. Thank you also to the Ursula K. Le Guin Foundation for creating and administering a prize that honors Ursula K. Le Guin's vision of imagination as an essential part of and essential to the real world, worthy of real support and encouragement. To the other writers with whom I spent time on this short list, thank you for your very good company. I feel honored to have been selected from among such peers. And for that, thank you to the judges. Also, always, thank you to New Directions for your belief in my strange, sad, funny book. Finally, thank you to every reader for finishing the work of writing.
Congratulations, Anne, and congratulations to all our shortlist authors. My thanks to you for joining us today. One reminder before we part. This prize depends on the quality and diversity of nominations from readers like you. Anyone can nominate a book. When we open the nomination period in early 2025, I hope to see you there. Thank you for joining. Thank you for reading, and see you next year.